wipe those tears and put them on a list. It's time for the tier list.
Tier list.
Tier list.
Tier list. With Shiho.
Yeah.
We are gonna do, don't kill us in the comments. We're gonna do most iconic animes in order from, we'll say, most iconic to least iconic.
Because these are all bangers.
They're all
in their own
bangers.
right. Yeah.
Some of them I'm probably gonna shit on a little bit.
That's the point.
Just a little bit, but that's okay. But I wanna be positive to start,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give an S tier right off the bat because it is so influential and iconic. Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, okay.
Neon Genesis Evangelion. I feel like it's the mix of heroic boy trope, even though he's not really a hero, mechs, coming of age, sad death scenes, and bizarro endings that just leave you asking more questions than you ever have answered. I think it's a great anime. I think the films are great. Personally, I really like it. Some people are divided. But I think it deserves to be an S tier.
I like your. I've heard many good things. I haven't personally watched it.
Highly
so
recommend.
I don't know, but okay, great. S. I've heard it's the GOAT from some, so I will take your word for it. I'm thinking purely iconic, a show that I know based on the memes, the clips, the soundtrack especially, but I haven't really given a full watch.
Okay.
I'm going old school, Berserk. You know, how many memes have I watched with the Guts theme playing? So many. I feel like it's so iconic, but again, I couldn't tell you half of the things that happen. I can tell you a tenth of what happens in the anime. So I'm going to put it as a solid A because I know so much about it without ever having seen it. So I feel like that, when you're looking at iconic, I have one more that's above it, very biased, as an S, but that is my A, starting with Berserk.
Okay. Shiho, do you have one you want to throw on the list?
I have two. One, Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Classic. Growing up, I even had a Sailor Moon bicycle. I would let no one touch it. They have Sailor Moon like circling around. We press the button, and I loved it because I was so little, but it's like women power, and they have women girls that are fighters, and there's still like a love story as well.
Of course,
I love Sailor Moon, and also you might not know this Doraemon. It's a blue cat robot.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, there's AI, and it's like a robot. And it's a cat, but because Mouse ate those ears, he has no ears.
Oh,
and it's so
wait, a mouse
cute.
ate his ears? Is that the lore? That's why he has no ears?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why he's like
round.
He's so scared of Mouse.
Oh,
and he gets to like use items to fly and then go back in time. I
know the character. Very iconic. Have never seen the show.
You have to. It's what I grew up with, and I think it's one of the first shows that I watched that the protagonist is bullied. He's not so strong. That's why Doraemon, the robot, helps him out.
Underdog story.
And I grew up with it. It's so cute.
Where would you place
Freak the Mighty?
Doraemon and Sailor Moon on the list?
Sailor Moon top.
Okay.
So that's an S.
That's an S.
Yeah.
S for Sailor Moon.
Doraemon A.
Okay.
Okay.
Solid.
I
Keeping
trust.
things positive.
I trust.
I love it. I love it.
I want to throw Samurai Champloo on because I think it is extremely iconic, though not as like Cowboy Bebop. I love the animation style, and the soundtrack is so good. It slaps. But just for iconicness, I'm going to put it in a B.
Okay.
Just wanted to get it on the list.
Solid. I want to talk about Sailor Moon for a second because just going back to childhood, my brother was really into Toonami, but my friends, there were some girl. I was like 5. There were girls across the street, and they were obsessed with Sailor Moon. So as far as my friends and my peers were concerned, the late '90s, Sailor Moon was a segue, and not just for women, but for all anime fans in the West. Like really was that, and the next one on my list really kind of brought so much of the Western audience into anime. I bring up that story because we were all hanging out watching Sailor Moon, and we all picked like a different planet and character to be. And I was like, I want to be Jupiter. And they all made fun of me. And they're like, no, you have to be the one boy, dude.
Yeah, you can't be the girl.
Like, okay. Anyway, Sailor Moon's great. But for me, what my brother really watched, I dare say the kind of yin and yang to Sailor Moon is, of course, Dragon Ball Z. I got to talk about Dragon Ball Z. It's what got me into anime, got so many people in the West into anime. I don't think how iconic. I feel like it's almost a little watered down now because everyone knows Goku, and it's been such a common, part of society and culture for the last 30 years now. but I don't think you can understate the impact that Dragon Ball Z had for anime in the West. And I think you got to put it as an S
As an S?
for iconic.
Okay.
And then I'll my last one that I'm going to provide, I'm going to go negative with a hot take just because I feel the need to do a hot take. One Piece, I'm giving you a D.
Whoa.
Because you're just too fucking long. There's no way. There's no way I'll ever be able to catch up. There's not enough time in my lifetime.
You might as well throw Naruto at a C then, because
Sure.
it's just as long.
Fuck you, Naruto. You're getting a C. But One Piece, the longest running anime of all time.
I'm not with
right?
him.
It's a fucking D for
I'm not-
that reason and that reason alone.
I'm not with him.
I can't wait to see the comment section.
Oh my God. Do you have any more you want to throw on before we end?
Yes, a Pokemon definitely has to be
classic.
there,
S,
right?
S.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
But the video games are so much better.
I'll also throw Full Metal Alchemist in at an A. I think it was very influential.
Never seen.
Maybe I'll move that down to a B. And then one more, I'm going to be a little negative. I've seen this anime. I don't think it's that iconic. I just had to throw it on because it's bizarro. But I'm going to put Sword Art Online as a C, maybe a D. I feel like it was influential for the you're trapped in a video game thing, you know, Ready Player One style. You can't take the VR headset off. You die.
You die.
If you die
in the game, you die for real.
You die in real life. But
Like
Sword
Squid Game.
Sword Art was great, and then Sword Art Online 2 it just went so off course. It got so weird. But yeah, I just wanted to get it on there. And I think that's it. That's all the anime in the entire world.
How do you feel about Digimon?
Digimon?
Do some quick,
It was there.
quick rankings.
For me, it always felt like a copy of Pokemon.
Yeah, okay.
And a
so-
copy of
Never
Yu-Gi-Oh!
got
So a
into
C for
it.
copycat,
Yeah.
maybe?
C, I would put Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! In C.
Really? What's Yu-Gi-Oh ripping off? Magic the Gathering, I guess.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Card builder.
But Magic the Gathering didn't have a
I summon Pot of Greed.
old school Yu-Gi-Oh.
Blue Eyes White
Weird
Dragon.
hot take. No. Before the card game. So Yu-Gi-Oh was actually Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters. The original anime was just any game. One game he was playing like rock paper scissors, but then he would always. And Yu-Gi-Oh was so much darker, and he would always kill his victims or steal their souls. Oh yeah.
Gritty Yu-Gi-Oh!
Wow.
Yu-Gi-Oh before the duelist monsters, which was supposed to just be a one-off, like parody of Magic.
But then they figured out they could sell.
And then when they brought it to the West, they ignored that first season. And anyway, Yu-Gi-Oh's great. Original series A, Duelists C for
C.
copycat. Why not? Yeah.
we got to end the list there. We could go on for ages, and
We really
maybe
could.
we will. Maybe we'll have Shiho back on another anime episode. This has been so much fun.
We just scratched the surface.
We've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
We could dive in way deeper. But Shiho, before we say goodbye, please tell the people where they can find you.
Yes.
Anything you're up to, anything you want to plug.
Yes. I'm pretty active on Instagram. It's my full name, Shiho Matsuoka, and I stream very randomly, and I go by Shippoku. It's SHIPPOKU.
And can you spell your handle on Instagram first real quick?
It's Shiho Matsuoka. SHIHOMATSUOKA.
Perfect.
It really,
Thank
it
you.
really is spelled how it sounds.